I started writing poetry because I couldn't get any girls, to be honest. So.
Lust can be good. We've got something inherent in us and courageous. No. Lust can be good. We've got something inherent in us and encourages us to be a bit more carnal, sinful, selfish, and so on. Most just keep it a bit better kept inside the privacy of their own home. After all, in a democratic system, Hitler got voted in. Not in vain. Read this. Do not concern yourself from where, how, or why I write this. Death will come. The end of the world will come. Just ask yourself, what will come first? Work for everything, but cherish nothing. In the transition, you'll never be permitted to take anything with you. Just your soul to what makes you good and your sins to which you've committed, and will atone for at gunpoint. When you hear your faith, life will either be a total times. When you hear your fate, life will be either a total blessing or something completely unjust. Both will last forever in death or the end times. Solemn. Poets, be master of your word. Painters, be master of your strokes. Musicians, be master of each note. Do not live in angst, people. Life will be better off this time without anxiety. At least some joy will be experienced and not something to be yearning for. Wild beasts will come and rape your first daughter and chop off your private if you're firstborn, without a care, and its master will teach them how.
Is this English breakfast?
I think so, yeah.
It's good.
It's good. You prefer green tea or?
I've always drank English breakfast. I love green tea, especially like on its own. I usually don't have English breakfast without milk or sugar.
Milk or sugar? Should have asked, yeah.
But like, I like it. I like it. Good.
Some teas are really good on their own. So some teas it's good with milk.
I think some teas you can only have them on their own.
Like I think that's the same with green tea. You should probably only have it on its own.
Green tea is just on its own. I think that's why English breakfast is good, because you can add the sugar in the milk. And it's good.
Put honey in it as well.
Oh, actually, I always put honey in it now. I love a bit of honey. You can't really measure it the same way.
What do you do on your days off? You don't know what to do when you go to work. You work. You clock on. You work. Even the half an hour break when you're not working. What he did. That's probably why it works so much. Sometimes you just watch TV shows or...
Whenever you're ready, okay?
Fine. Call it demons if you must. For most, that's the best their own imagination can conceptualize. People are their prized pleasures to take with them and eventually turn into them. Lust can be good. We've got something inherent in us and encourages us to be a bit more carnal, sinful, selfish and so on. Most just keep it a bit better kept, inside the privacy of their own home. After all, in a democratic system, Hitler got a vote in. Not in vain, read this. Not in vain, read this. Do not concern yourself from where, how, or why I write this. Death will come. The end of the world will come. Just ask yourself, what will come first? Work for something, work for everything, but cherish nothing. Work for everything, but cherish nothing. In the transition, you'll never be
Ready.
Yeah. I've always found it kind of hard to connect with people and open up to people. So I tend to often avoid it, put walls up. And I just happen to connect with unhealthy people again. Can't really help it.
to take anything with you, just your soul, to what makes you good and your sins to which you've committed, and you will atone for at gunpoint. When you hear your fate, life will either be a total blessing or something completely unjust. Both will last forever in death or the end times. Solemn. Poets, be master of your word. Painters, be master of your strokes. Musicians, be master of each note. Do not live in angst, people. Life will be better before this time, without anxiety. At least some joy will be experienced and not something to be yearning for. Wild beasts will come and rape your first daughter and chop off your private of your firstborn, without a care, and its master will teach them how. Humanity is only a glint, one glint, like a star. Pretty from a distant, something to philosophize over. Then learn, but close at face side, the star is already dead. Whoever said the struggle will stop today? A lot of mystics dead and never be martyred. Plus, you don't have any gold to give away.
I forgot. So where have you travelled and stuff?
A few places. I've travelled a few places with the family. With school, I've travelled around. I went on an exchange program.
Yeah.
Went to Ireland for a month. That's where all my family's from.
Oh, cool.
So I stayed in a boarding school there for,
Yeah.
it was 3 weeks. Boarding school's a weird place. I always kind of knew it was going to be a bit strange, but it's the fact that a bunch of prepubescent boys are just staying in one household. It's not even a household, it's a castle. It was just a big castle.
So is it Irish Republic or Northern Ireland?
Irish Republic, yeah.
Yeah.
It was on like on the west coast, Limerick, I think.
Yeah. What made it weird though?
I think it's just because when young boys.
Sick.
Pigs talk and end up screaming about sacrifice, such as early talks of such end times, prone to sudden fits of rage, wherein cold murder to the creature is as natural to him as breathing is to you. Gold, sex with virgins, praises will be used. I tend to like to spend my days outside if I can. It's nice to be indoors every now and then, but I get bored and I like to run around a bit. I feel like the best way to kind of spend your day is to exert some energy. Like physically, I think. I like just to come down to this park every now and then. Usually it's a bit quieter. And just, I don't know, just be here. Sometimes there's some kids playing soccer or a dog walking around with an owner. And just sort of watch. I think it takes you back to sort of a primitive nature, I guess. Being an open field kind of, I don't know, it triggers something in you. The open space. It's relaxing. I tend to try and forget about the highway over there. I don't know. And I like to sit in these trees as well. I think it's inspirational. I feel like a monkey running back here. You know? An ape. I love to live in the forest. Be self-sufficient. I think then I know what I want to do every day. I have to get food. I have to make a fire. I have to get water. You know, the essentials. But you can't. You could. And I think kids have got it right. I think that's why adults always tell kids to enjoy their childhood. Because they got it right. They don't think about things too much. If they want to play, they just play. They don't think about why they're playing or what the playing means. They just sort of have fun because they know it's fun. Why do we get more confused as we get older? When you're young, you think you get less confused. You think you'd work some things out. But why is it the more things that you discover, the more confused you become? But you can't. I don't know how to do that. I think I'll probably just give up after about 2 days. That's why I like to come down here. It's basically all the benefits of living out in the middle of nowhere. Living in the middle of nowhere. I think trees get bored.
I think so, yeah. That's a good question.
Maybe they just know what they're doing all the time. It's not much. It's not very complicated, but they know what they're doing. I reckon trees are the happiest beings in the world.
So what are you gonna do tonight?
After this?
Yeah, after this. Whenever you're ready.
Maybe write some stuff. decorate some stuff. I don't know. Maybe go to bed. Have a nap. I tend to get inspired by dreams, so I like to I like to dream. I don't know. Might clean the house up a bit. Do you want to come hang out later on?
Sure.
When we're done?
No worries.
Sure. We could fall asleep together. Talk about our dreams. I think that's what I'd love if I had a girl. Just to wake up and talk about our dreams. You don't have any gold to give away, so you can remove your past. Underslung sky, now is not the time for fear. That comes later. Desolate, intense, resent nothing at the same time of everything. Bloated with both virtue and lust, malice. For life wanted melody, instead people got malady. The creatures stepping over earth's land, people run as that very military shoots and ending fail. It's not monster film. People run, some stop to pay homage and offer their souls. The so-called demons suck them up. Those people turn to sin and fucking orgy, form and iron face, become. For some, they're going to be talented. It's far better to be such a someone in great fame, for things they always wanted to do in one another. Most people die. Ready? Whenever you're ready. Yeah, that was like, so we went for an island for a month, and we went to Philadelphia for a month. And it was also very strange. It was a very rich school. The family I was with wasn't very rich, but some guys were just driving around in Maseratis when they were 16.
Yeah, that's like, you hear your drivers their version of the L's at 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get the L's at 15, and then you can actually drive at 15. I think. You only have to have it for like six months.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. So many young people just driving around, and they don't have any plates or anything like we do have here.
Yeah. That's funny. Queensland. I moved to Brisbane for over 10 years ago, and they were just phasing the state laws out. But when I first moved there, for ages, the L platers and P platers didn't have to display their plates.
Really?
Yeah, they had the licenses for it, like. if they showed you their license, it would say L plate or green or red pages and stuff, but they didn't have to display the plates.
But they do now?
Yeah. After 2 or 3 months, they brought in the laws for it. Like, you had to display your L plates.
That's so strange.
It's Queensland. Like, outside Sydney, like, I mean this in a good way.
Yeah.
But outside New South Wales and Victoria, a lot of the country's a bit behind.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Well, Australia, especially New South Wales, is very nanny.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many laws that they've brought in that kind of just...
Think of,
the road laws.
like, Sydney, Melbourne, modern, and everything, like, Brisbane's a bit behind, Canberra's probably not that, like, it's similar, but every major city is behind Sydney and Melbourne, sort of thing.
Well, they're kind of just like they're kind of the main hubs of Australia.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where the population is, like the majority of the population.
It's good and bad because Sydney, like, they can look at Sydney and Melbourne and look at their mistakes and stuff. Like Brisbane City, you can literally like walk. You would never get lost. It's so easy to walk around and stuff.
Yeah.
It's laid out. I'll drive around.
People die. The creature sets up camp, Astana, take over and demands complete the whole obedience. Holy book burns. Slaves for the rest still living, though mostly dark ashes fall from the sky. Grey colour themes, burning bodies left on the ground and homeless children asking for their mother's walk. All people see is their own personal fear. Living life at best, daring not to live any more or any better. Once a servant to one's life, now just a servant to dying days. Violet in all violence, voiceless tears inside interior chambers cry private praise, not even confessing to one another. Muted silence between people saturate this earth, marching to Zion they've given up, and no network of hope or revolt. In harmony, all remaining poets weep at a blanket and shared evil that everyone is experiencing under this rule. To the police in tempest wrath,
Would you have any advice on dating girls?
Be yourself. Don't take things too personally.
Okay.
Make an effort.
What's making an effort though?
Get to know them and stuff like that.
But I always seem like I always ask like the wrong questions. I think.
And we can always Google questions.
Yeah, but then you also don't want to seem disingenuous. I think that's one thing I always try to do is just seem as genuine as possible. But I always find that the more genuine I try to be, I don't know, you know when you feel like you're too open, and then it just sort of seems a bit strange, and then you kind of, I remember I had a friend who tried to like describe it as if you got them on like a fishing line, or like, it's like the hunt, but it's not really the hunt, it's like, you want to keep them on line. It's sort of like, it's a bit of a battle, but you don't want them to just kind of let go. It's like a fishing hook that they can hold on to if they wanted to. It's not like it's a hook where it catches them in the mouth, and they have to get it. You know? But I always try to use that analogy in my head, it never really made any sense. You know? I always thought I could get girls. I never thought it was a problem. But it is. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. For some reason it is.
And you can always make sure they're comfortable and all that.
Yeah. But then you don't want to make them too comfortable at the same time. But then I guess once you're dating, you can do whatever you want. Like, you can be as comfortable with them. Like, you can make them comfortable if you want. Like, give back rubs and stuff, foot rubs. But before that, you can't. You have to like earn it. You know. Yeah, it's hard. But I also think as I get older, I'll probably get better at it. Any books you recommend?
I haven't read any books on that stuff. No. YouTube videos, Google experience.
Do you use Tinder at all?
No, I've tried it, but it's really slutty. Yeah, dating apps and stuff could be good.
Mm. Have you ever handwritten a letter? Like that's
Yeah, I've done it once.
pretty nice.
A couple times for the same girl, so.
For the same girl. The first one not work.
It's hard to explain.
Is it worth even having a girlfriend?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Get somebody always to talk to, hang out with, personal support, have fun with.
You would have a lot of fun. What do you do on your days off? You don't know what to do when you go to work. You work. You clock on. You work. Even the half an hour break when you're not working. What do you do? That's probably why I work so much. Sometimes I just watch TV shows or...
I'm talking to it.
I think that's why it's important to write down thoughts, your feelings. That's what poetry is, I guess. It's always weird though when someone reads it and it doesn't really make sense to you. It does make sense to you, but it doesn't really make sense. I think that's why published artists or published poets with so much respect, because they can articulate what they're thinking. And even if it's not exactly what they're thinking, some people still relate to it. I think that's the beauty of art. You could paint a painting with this weird vision in your head, this weird thought pattern. And the person who respects the painting, has no idea what that thought was. I don't know what to do on my days off, to be honest. What do? You could sit at home and relax because you did work all week. Then you also don't want to sleep in till like 11 or 12. But then you're also really tired because you worked. Then when you're at work, you're thinking about all the things that you wish you did. Thinking about the things that if you weren't at work right now, you'd be doing. Then as soon as you get home, what you want to do is lie down and watch Avatar, or a new movie on Netflix, or some weird YouTube video that has nothing to do with anything, but you can still sit there for 30 minutes and watch it. I think that's one of the things that I'm never going to work out. I think I'm going to work it out, but I think even if I'm 60, I think I'll still be sitting there every now and then going, what do I do? What do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. I think I know what I want to do, but I don't think I know what I want to do. But I do things and see if I like it. Some things I like. Some things I don't. But I guess that's the pursuit of curiosity. What do we do? Especially nowadays. It's not like we're in severe danger to immediate threats. It's not like you have to do something, otherwise something bad is going to happen. You can do it or you can't do it. It's not like if you don't do it, you're going to die. You could sit at home for a year. As long as you have access to coals and running water, you're fine. So you can literally do whatever you want almost, if you're lucky enough. That's also kind of sad. It's very sad. What do most people do? You always think that everyone else in the world has it worked out. But I guess you also get comfort in knowing that no one has any idea. No idea. What to do for the rest of the day, to be honest.
This is so long. Holy shit. I don't know where it was.
When you're ready.
As a small group raids a family, the king stops, wanting his horse to take a rest. My people, keep their clothes and place them at the gates of mine, as homage to being your king and allowing these raids. The king watched, even witnessing the children being raped. Every person makes mistakes. Like to meek is to be human. Those who yield in acknowledgement and corrects is a person worth praise and remembrance. Grime is in within pride. Anyone should never be afraid to learn more, unbending their own mind, regardless the current status of their own thinking, thoughts of those who had once been on death row, now slow this world to aid creating a masculine world of nightmares as a woman's touch is towards the king, Scarlet supervisors. Clouded now with culture, angry red on vapour, causing all mortars to frown, barks standard, and in truth to ask, where is wisdom to be found? It's still inside. Even in Europe, royal families raised and pray to the creature. Hierarchy in humanity, never to leave, but dogma is more believable. To where past gods have failed, in honour, the creature has done what all, or at least most, of what people wanted. To me, to deity before death. As for now, light is always in dawn. 12 oaks, tree fall. The beauty of Europe, the romance of it all, the sweeping lushes of it, the cherish of love falling deep into death. A shivering sadness, never succeeding in distracting people from their own natural talent to sin and to self-destruct. Open coffins for those past time acts, like a white fetus curling into bodies up, and at least one teardrop saved and frozen. Glaring white lights beam from behind the coffin as gypsies dance around.
Brisbane City,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't drive around Sydney City at all. I wouldn't go in the area. I was like, no, I'll take the bus in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fucking maze. It's an absolute maze around Sydney. But I've never really lived anywhere else. I've never really. That's why I've travelled around the world quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really travelled around Australia as much as it makes sense to kind of travel your own place before you travel anywhere else.
It's good too because if you get sick of Sydney, you can just go, okay, let's go out there straight away.
Yeah, just get in the car and go.
Yeah.
So much, like, yeah.
Yeah, like if
So
I wanted
much
to, I can start over in Brisbane, like know people there and know my way around. And
Yeah. How long did you live in Brisbane for?
3 years.
3 years.
I've been back like for decent holidays and stuff, and long breaks. And I've been to other places as well. Like it's really good. Like, Warrawee is really close to Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can just take the ferry over and just be there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Would you recommend moving over to a different city?
yeah, in Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is too, like you can always go back for holidays as well. For what you got mates there, you can stay there. You know your way around. You don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of fresh start as well in a new place. See how it goes.
You can always come back. Just like,
You can always
easily come back easily as well. Like you can't go. Look, I've been here a year. It's good, but I can't be here longer.
Have you always lived here?
Yeah, my Northern Beaches area.
Yeah. Did you go to school here?
Yeah, Bagala boys.
Oh, you went to Valley Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
What about yourself?
St. Augustine's.
Ah, that's
St. Augustine's College, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm glad I'm not at school anymore. Like, I love school. It was a good time. It's good to be with your friends. But I think there's so much more you can see. I think that's why I was always attracted to going on the school programs and stuff. We went to Nepal as well, which was like those kind of trips are so important. I think. Like even like Scots College, my friend was telling me, like he had a friend that went there. And apparently in year 9 they have like a 6-month program where you don't go to school, like you're not at the school. You go down to like they have like a patch of land in Kangaroo Valley, and so you just live in Kangaroo Valley for 6 months. And you have class during the day, but then after class you don't really have minimal homework. You just spend your day either hiking or mountain biking or anything. It was just they didn't have any internet or anything, and all they did was just be in the Kangaroo Valley with each other. And by the end of the 6 months, it was almost like a boot camp almost.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, they had to walk out and walk from the Kangaroo Valley to Scots, which is like a 5-day hike, which is insane, which is so sick. I think most schools should. It's kind of hard, but you can't really do that with most schools. I think the idea that having the opportunity to explore the world a bit before you kind of just get chucked into it when you're 16 or 17, 18, not having any idea what you're doing. I think it's important to have a bit of a scope on it. I think it's really important. That's why I like being out of school and you can just do something if you want. And you can make as many mistakes as you want. And that's on you. Yeah. It's pretty cool. You do definitely make a lot more mistakes. That's what I found. Holy shit. You fuck up so many times when you're in school. Because no one's there, can like on your shoulder, can be like, oh, don't do this because I'm telling you it's going to be a bad idea. Like it's a good thing because then you can just go travel or get a new job somewhere or meet new people, and you can kind of get a sense of when things will go wrong or what's a bad idea, what's a good idea, what's a good decision, what's not.
It's also good to have good mates as well, because they can actually turn around and go, maybe that's it.
Yeah. Like sometimes in school you'd hang out with these guys from a young age. You feel not obliged, but you feel about growing up with them. You kind of have to maintain your friendship with them. I didn't really have that. Like I've always had good friends from school, and I'm still good friends with them now. But some people can meet some people and just get stuck with them, and then they get influenced by them. They get influenced by them because they're young and they don't know themselves, so they believe in others to shape them. And that's when you fuck up. That happened to my brother. Like he was friends with some guys he just got in trouble with. My dad hated them all. But like now he's just all his other friends are older than him, and he met outside of school. And he's a better person for it.
It's another reason why I got rid of my smartphone. I'm like, I don't know how to use my phone. You like coffee shops?
I feel part of something for a moment.
I was 17.
17 when you got your first phone. Is this sort of like a coffee shop?
Yeah, I've been coming here for years, man. Yeah.
Seems nice.
What kind of tea do you like to drink?
Tea?
Yeah.
English breakfast. Or actually no, preferably Irish breakfast. Irish breakfast tea. To be honest, I don't know if there's a difference, but my family's Irish, so I think maybe I don't know. It tastes better, but I don't know. Maybe chamomile. I know that it helps you sleep. Get everything I can. All the help I can get. I like a coffee every now and then. But I don't really drink it, but like a lot of people say they drink coffee for the taste. And I think that's also kind of the same with like alcohol. Like if it didn't have any of like the
variations.
Yeah. Or it didn't have any of like the benefits of the energy or the drunkenness. Would you like it as much? You know? Like if you drink coffee and like that's why people drink tea, because it has a bit of caffeine in it, but it doesn't do much to you. So the flavour doesn't need to be as strong. But when you drink coffee, the flavour's really strong, but you know it's strong for a reason. It's like a really strong drink, an alcoholic drink. The stronger it is, you're like, it's going to do something to you. You know?
Any better. Once a servant to one's life, now just a servant to dying days. Violet in all violence, voiceless tears inside interior chambers cry private praise, not even confessing to one another. Muted silence between people saturate this earth, marching to Zion they've given up, and no network of hope or revolt. In harmony, all remaining poets weep at a blanket and shed evil that everyone is experiencing under this rule. To the police in tempest wrath, those demons that tagged along, this is a neo-empire outshining those before. It's a shame that stupidity isn't painful to one's whole entire essence. Wanting avatars, getting none. Over a 1,000-year period, lavish pillars rise. It's that humanity forgot about the Godhead figure. They simply forget. New omens provide a new scent for Earth. Astana remains the capital of Earth, with different races of tiled skin. Fishing tongues, tall, green. People's private hell is prolonged. The rich kill any animal and tear off their skin, use it as fur coats. They smile. So let's take a trip, where anyone can pimp, limp, masturbate in public and spend money on any mofo. Getting lonely, I can't control it. Pass me the blunt, let me roll it. Perhaps it's doubt, and anything that will bring pain. Not knowing the truth that I had been hoping for to bring me freedom. Supreme Leader is now the title of the creature. Preferably if they were under the age of 16, because they haven't been broken. With no floods, no locusts, no disease, murder being become normal and a bit of rape. No money, a lot of silver. A neo-royalty line is produced amongst people's blood. The half-caste between those demons and virgins, both male and female, swallowing eternity. As any prince would laugh, though from the sky the earth is doused with new philosophy. In textile fields, elderly women tend to those fields, all missing one eye and stuck in an old age forever. These young boys run naked around neo-palaces, just one entertainment, just only entertainment. Writers invent new tragedy, stories, abated, pale, blue and pure, missing stage plays for giggles and laughing till it hurts, and a stomach that encourages everyone who watches to give in to lust, like we're all meant to do. Along watery plateau, different breed of mystics walk, those born in the world before that survive the initial stages, had eagle eyes and living now until time decides to stop mocking everyone and finally give up and provide the final solution. Under red dusk, those know most things are propaganda. Freedom inside someone's asshole, opium everywhere, like steam leaking from any paved roads and newly built cities. Images strung from the air that remind people, peasants too, be honest, that we all can die. Disk of time, burnt colours, nothing said about hope, love and romance. No weddings. As for babies, they pop up at random places, roads, dumpsters, fields with goats, public toilets in the Nile. To whoever finds them first, by law they are the new parents. Rape is punishment if those do not take the babies. Kill kittens. Rereading of Ovid, talking of having Latin as one language. Going beyond this world, and Helen is her name, streams of blood. Sphinx is his name. My king, my queen, what tears can bore. The dooming death, and nothing forces us to change or to know. Nothing greater than pain, bore, shame, and to exile those who age life is not for them to claim. Old-fashioned school of thought, doubt their words until a neo-poet rises from the ash below. Drops of stars and lions stand on their tongue, not from wrestling but out of respect. Breed of new prophet, in these times of neo-dogma, revolt personally as a single person of revolution. People to pray to this poet as they write words in the second Renaissance, where only those born to create great works of beauty to walk this earth, like monks in a monastery. At the moment, until it defeats the creature, monster to any god, it's only a moment of glimmer of hope. One hero born under one tree, weaving thoughts of romance, soulmate to those with intelligence, poetic to the poor and matched to one and only. No one else. Most of all, birthing life for those who deserve it. Without emotion, without speech, however hot it is that smash into ash as soon as one touches it. Dressed in black velvet. Red affair revolving around this planet, missing colour and texture, lacking depth. It's the contrary when talking about its character. Murderous rage, always in wild youth, never to age. Old books burnt and everyone scrambles for food. Summer darkness and their binding ties, spoiled warmth. Youth is wasteful every day. Everyone is reminded death is constantly in its daily life. scarlet overpaved sandstone laid down by some local masons. Her hands rested in front of her belly button, hair pulled up like a fluff in her face as a kindred love for depress, and it's converted so clearly through her face. Lifting her eyes up, her husband, the king over the capital from mid-Africa, taken by the some more Europeans, fluent with interchangeable thoughts, worn-out thorn, and steps on velvet carpet and some flower petals. Speaking of food, how was the raid today? Scarlet spoke, in a tender tone. The king answered and walked away, not to sit on leather seats. Rumour has it that a copy of the book, Gone with the Wind, is somewhere around the valley. Since the takeover, truth is always told, and sin when you look at lying. People wander around, claiming god-like powers, through some dull daylight, music anyone to waltz generally play, homage to the creature that took over, using satanic music. Hands that move with timid strides, minds dying, not laying in rest, brothers turn, comrades turn, peers and strangers turn. Food is rare, so they turn onto one another. Let the rebels eat the flesh of familiar faces and never to ponder if their food had once been home to a soul. People wearing masks from ancient Greece like any duration of time between periods never existed, veiled in robes despite being in Africa. As a small group raids a family, the king stops wanting his horse to take a rest. My people, keep their clothes and place them at the gates of mine, as homage to being your king and allowing these raids. The king watched, even witnessing the children being raped. Every person makes mistakes. Like to Meek is to witnessing the children being raped. Oh, every person makes mistakes. Like to Meek is to be
When you're ready.
like a white fetus curling its body up, and at least one teardrop saved and frozen. Glaring white lights beam from behind the coffins as gypsies dance around, taunting with satanic laughter and chants as the poor scream to those fetus tombs. Where are your poets now? Mortars flock to Astana. Europe is hosting that city now. Fallen empires is nothing but success to others. Oh, weep not for this modern world. Noblest deeds will not stop the destruction of humanity in all their culture. Murmur never. It will not be taken seriously. Joy, contentment, smiles, happiness, love, or treasuring moments never to be forgotten. Rather, natural hatred, bitterness, joy, contentment, smiles, happiness, love, with treasuring moments never to be felt, rather natural hatred and bitterness with ruthless violence always to be first, to be acted upon. Despairing days, there's freedom in whiskey, dying at once. There's nothing more demoralizing than any individual's greed and imperception. It can turn into a large crowd. As for the unknown poet who wishes to love those while alive, knows life is short and poet has forever to love the dead once they join together in that definite act. Death belongs to eternity, and I'm left asking, where have you been? As for the most, they have been strangers to their own land. Oh, how easy it is to avoid developing one's character and join in with the rest. For that poet who conjured their own soul together, birthed in Paris, further in Paris, from the dirty Riviera, that has not been turned red from all those heads that have been cut off and thrown into once romantic river. Knowing where wisdom is not, that's where happiness is. But as for the wise, knowing the duality of their own existence, knows of battling the sin. Developing traits, that's where the poet should go. The poet, tall, lavender skin, diamond-like blue, shaved head, toned, and has time only for books, or what's left of them. Conversing to learn speech, walking around, always in blue coats, stories of the pastime. Harmonicas play in the street. By now, stop turning away from the sin on the street. Vice to him, or at least witnessing it, is as normal as it is to breathe. Everyone looking all grown up as the boys just passing puberty asking the girls to their alleys. We're vibing, when no one cares. Why hide the shame of lust? Where Judas is the preacher, in biblical sense. Anyone can be the prostitute witch, brazenly hanging out in confidence, with silk shades, being early pretense. In this culture sense, let the youth fuck with their own virtue. The poet stops for blueberries, turns and glares, ignoring the lynching and large photos of the old people. Seeing with a flock of clean people. Seeing with a flock of clean people stuck to her, like how the colour white is to rice, or hues of black. For those starry nights for lovers, handing sheets of paper the poet storms over. He makes eye contact with her, and opens his mouth. Anastasia, they walk away. Instantly a man walked over to the poet and offered videos of people getting peed on, because they know sex is the strongest form of magic, because it's practical and needed for the survival of humanity. When it comes to seduction, wants, yearnings, most aren't brave enough to purge or to pursue, so they turn to porn, hanging out with the chandelier, strutting like a model. Most do not know what their spouse thinks, despite the amount of years lived together. If you want to find out who your real friends are, sink the ship. The first ones to jump aren't your friends. I fear being like everyone I hate. I fear fear. I fear failure. I fear losing control. I love balancing between chaos and control with everything I do. I always have a fear of going wrong, getting lost in something, losing everything to get lost in, and I fear being a completely acceptable sheep in society. Oh, how easy it is to be a victim and how hard it is to stand up for yourself. I think art is the only thing that's spiritual in this world, and I refuse to force to believe in other people's interpretations of God. I don't think anybody should be. No one person can own the copyright to what God means. The most valuable thing Anton LaVey did that day was to help me understand and come to terms with the deadness, hardness, and apathy I was feeling about myself and the world around me. Explaining that it was all necessary. The most valuable thing Anton LaVey did that day was to help me understand and come to terms with the deadness, hardness, and apathy I was feeling about myself and the world around me. Explaining that it was all necessary, a middle step in the evolution from an innocent child to an intelligent, powerful being capable of making a mark on the world. Anyone without a sense of humor is too pretentious to be a good magician. Reality is sobering, fulfilling at times. Available to see at random times, memories of loss, deep scars, several dreamless nights. No morning star, faced toils after years of life. Eaten, forgotten. Do not stand by it. Tears for the dead that were never new. Constructed by the nations at night. People not arrive at the age of beauty. Emotions drop at the secret spot. Dead to bare. Thoughts with no bearing. Absurd in poetics. Luxury in its rarer ways. Justice too. Time touches and it's dust. Masters' faces, dressed in black and red robes. Rope freely passed around for suicide is painless. There is no generation to be children of hope. The materialistic view of happiness is of our age starkly revealed in our understanding of the word luxury. The quasi-peaceful gentleman of leisure then not only consumes of the staff of life beyond the minimum required for the subsistence of physical efficiency, but its consumption also undergoes a specialization as regards the quality of the goods consumed. He consumes freely and of the best in food, drink, narcotics, shelter, services, ornaments, apparel, weapons, and accoutrements, amusements, amulets, and idols of divinities. A rumour of social cancer is difficult to contain, and it rots the brains of the masses. However, the real danger is that so many people find rumours enjoyable. That part causes the infection. And in such cases, when a rumour is only partially made of truth, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where the information has gone wrong. It is passed on and on until some brave soul questions its validity. That brave soul refuses to bite the apple and let that apple eat him. Forced to start from scratch for the sake of purity and truth. That brave soul, figuratively speaking, fully amputates the information in order to protect his personal judgment. In other words, his ignorance is to be valued more than the lie believed to be true. Quiet people always know more than they seem. Although very normal, their inner world is by default fronted mysterious and therefore assumed weird. Never underestimate the social awareness and sense of reality in a quiet person. They are some of the most observant, absorbent persons of all. Intruding eyes that can peer into your soul. Commune together does not help. Never underestimate the social awareness and sense of reality in a quiet person. They are some of the most observant, absorbent persons of all. Intruding eyes that can peer into your soul. Commune together does not help. All done?